PC search of a vehicle doesn't equal PC to search of a person, right?
Right.
And that's a motor vehicle exception. The motor vehicle exception applies to containers, not to human beings. Now, the cop says occupant is in the vehicle when PC to search is established. The occupant refuses to consent to search of his person and refuses to consent a pat down. Now, there is no reasonable suspicion for a Terry pat down. You visually notice that after you get him out of the car, which of course we can do, you can see a wallet in his pocket. The question for you, Mike, is this. Does the officer have the authority to enter that pocket to retrieve the wallet and search it under the motor vehicle exception?
No, not without a nexus. And where does this come from? Like you said in the question, there's you can search containers with probable cause, and we'll take a quick step in looking at the automobile exception right there. Probable cause, right? Fair probability that evidence is in there, fruits are inside the vehicle. All right. Apparently mobile. I don't know why I said it like that. Mobile.
You've been
mobile. I was in the Midwest this week, so I got my twang back. We talked a little bit earlier. It's not on curtilage or curtilage. It's the scope where, where would a judge allow you to look for what it is you have probable cause inside there. So that's just kind of a quick summary of what we're looking at for what we got to have for it. But the question is, can we search passengers automatically because we have the automobile exception? And the answer is no. You've got to give me some sort of a nexus, a justification of why this person, you've got probable cause for this person, they have evidence on them.
Now, look, I mean, I think that I think the way to say this is that people are not containers, and the motor vehicle exception applies to the vehicle and any containers they're in. But a person is not a container if the wallet is in their pocket. It is not a container. Let me give you, I don't know the case name. It doesn't really matter, but I'll tell you what they said. If a container is sitting on its own, it's searchable under motor vehicle exception. The problem is that wallet is not sitting on its own. It's in his pocket, right. And that's why it's not a container under the motor vehicle exception. I've also seen a case where the guy had a fanny pack, which, have you noticed that fanny packs are making a comeback?
Oh yeah, it's quite all the rage with the youngsters these days.
I'm being serious. Are you being serious?
Well, you got the fanny packs, or I guess the new is the
sling bag.
Sling bag or the crossbody or whatever you want to call it.
Look, I'm cool. I have a sling bag, right? But I'm telling you, Mike, that two things are making a comeback in our society, which kind of proves the degradation of our society. Okay, number one is fanny packs, and number two is mullets. Mullets are coming back. Have you seen mullets come back? Oh, your department might be a prime violator right there. Okay, right. The business up front and the party in the back. Now, I wish I could grow a mullet.
No, you don't.
I wish I had the capability to grow a mullet.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I was in the Midwest, and there's a bunch.
Man, they love their mullets there, man.
But they never went away.
No, they never got the memo that IROC Z28s and mullets were actually not an in thing anymore.
Exactly.
All right. So back to our thing here. So the fact is, they're not sitting on its own. Now, an officer brought up Anchondo. What do you remember Anchondo, or do you want me to kind of get into it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing in Anchondo was the driver.
Give some facts though. There are many people that have no idea what you're talking about. What's Anchondo?
Somewhat near the border, correct? And stop was made near there. They developed probable cause to search. Was it by dog, I believe?
Well, they had reasonable suspicion. They run the dog around the car with the people in it. Mm-hmm.
Then get our PC, step out, and was it Anchondo who was the driver? Which when we look at this is usually a far less burden to show that nexus. The drivers are in control of the vehicle; they should be aware of everything inside their car. And I think Anchondo was one of Anchondo's statements as well. You're not going to find drugs in that car. I think it was after they searched it, or was it before or after? I don't remember.
Twice. No. I'm sorry. It alerted twice. The dog alerted twice. They searched it once, and while
Right.
searching and not finding anything, on Chando, the driver said, "You're not going to find drugs in that car."
Yeah, which, again, we just talked earlier about building a nexus. He's the
Yeah,
driver. There's the PC hit by the dog, and a statement like that is like, "Hey, you're not gonna find him in there."
yeah,
You
probably
know,
on me. So I think the point is that look, Chando seems to be a viral case when it comes to searching passengers, right? And I think it's because there are some instructors out there that are, I believe, we're all allowed to have our opinion. I believe that some instructors out there are misinterpreting what the court is really holding here, right? And I don't think Anchando should stand for the proposition that if you have probable cause for the vehicle, you get to search those people who are in it. If that's the case, then get probable cause for a Greyhound bus and start searching other passengers. I know I'm being extreme, but it also is the same thing for an Uber. It's the same thing for me and you, Mike. Mike, we are good friends, okay? And you know that I don't do drugs, but you don't know, you're not 100%. I mean, maybe I do drugs. And if we're in the, the answer is no. But if we're in a car and the cops find probable cause that I'm doing drugs, okay, and they start searching my car and they find indicia of drugs under my seat and my backpack, why in the hell are they going through your pockets? You don't do drugs. You're not going to be nervous. You're not going to be running. You're not going to be lying to the police. You're a good person. And so just because
to me,
huh?
you're saying there's no nexus between those drugs.
There's no nexus, as you said. So boom. All right.
What was it? So the DeRay case or whatever it was, it talked about like just being a passenger in the car doesn't strip you of that Fourth Amendment right, or that Fourth Amendment protections in there, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you want to look at the 1948 case of U.S. versus DeRay, where the Supreme Court said essentially that the Carroll Doctrine from 1925 does not apply to passengers in vehicles. And in a nutshell, in that case, the police had probably it was a World War II case, so it got decided during World War II. In that case, the police had probable cause that there was illegal or forged gas rations, right? Right? Gas rations, because that's how you only get 5 gallons a week type stuff. And he forged them and he was selling them to get more gas than you deserved, or not deserved, but you were allotted. And they searched the car, they found the gas rations, and then they searched DeRay, who was simply a passenger, and the U.S. Supreme Court threw it out.